and it just kind of feels like an ice pick is in my brain. Hello, good morning. Oh, that voice crack though. Welcome back to another episode of More Mary. I am your host, Miss Mary Lou, and welcome back, my Tea Time fam. It is so wonderful to have you here. Hey friends, I had a completely different episode planned for today, but I've had a migraine for over a week now, and it is just consuming everything. Like last week's episodes, I pushed through it to get the content I really wanted done, and it came out great. I'm just so fatigued this week. I need to speak about what's going on, and hopefully this can help some of you that are struggling. This affects a lot of people, like a lot of people. I'll talk about my personal experience, obviously, and some of my top tips to help you get through a migraine when it does hit. So before we move on to that, if you're not subscribed to the Miss Mary Lou channel already, you are seriously missing out. Please hit the red subscribe button below and the little notification bell so you know when I upload. All right, so let's talk migraines. My history of migraines goes back a long ways. I started first experiencing them when my chronic illness started flaring up, which if you want a video all about that, I'll have it linked up here and down in the description box below if you want to know more. When that was all happening, migraines also started happening. My treatment was very sporadic and kind of weird. I was seeing a neurologist about it. My primary doctor messed with what the neurologist was doing, and then I tried a bunch of different giant pills, and it was not a great experience. But fortunately, most of the time I could kind of realize what was happening and then just take the day, literally sleep all day, and usually that would kick it enough. It actually went through a period of time where I was like so sensitive so often. They let me wear hats to school. Like I had a special doctor's note, so I could wear like a hat or a visor, and I also would put like a light kind of earplug in my ear. And then after high school, I didn't really have problems with migraines. Through all of college, my migraine situation was fine. I never really had any at all. And then after college, the first play that I was in, I was doing a performance. It was a part where I was supposed to fall on stage, and I am a trained stage combatant, so like I know how to safely pretend to fall and all that stuff, and it was choreographed and everything. But one of the nights during the show, I actually fell. I'd fallen on my back and smacked the back of my head really hard on a wooden stage. I had never been concussed before. I didn't know what to expect. Over the course of a year, I had 2 major concussions, and then probably like 6 to 8 more minor concussions. And this brought the migraine game back so hard. And fortunately, I was seeing a neurologist for my concussions, and they were also migraine specialists because it does fall under the neurology umbrella. And my specific doctor that I was seeing, it was an area that he was also an expert in. That really helped because they cared and they took the time to listen to me, for me to listen to my body, and to find the medication that was really right for me. My migraines are usually triggered mostly by smell, which is kind of a weird one. Obviously, like bright lights and sounds can irritate it, but smell is the biggest one. And if I have a migraine and I smell something strongly, it'll make it hurt more, and then that smell can then later trigger migraines just like that. So like I had a migraine in the summer once when jasmine was in bloom, and now the smell of jasmine can trigger a migraine out of nowhere. Not only did we find the right medication for me, which is kind of a weird one because my migraines would usually last a week and a half to 2 weeks, and then I would get them multiple times a month. So basically all the time I was experiencing this, and I was getting like injection therapy in the trigger points in the back of my head. I had some infusion therapy where they hook you up to an IV. All of that was very helpful. And the most important thing was that I found a medication that works for me. So here I am today. How's the migraine stuff been going? Honestly, since I moved to California, I maybe have 3 migraines a year. That's it. The lack of really, really cold type weather. So it's generally been really wonderful. And again, if I get it, I know how to take the medication safely, and it generally kicks the migraine. This one is the first time ever this medication has not worked, and I don't really know what's going on. So let's get into how you can help yourself out. My number 1 tip is if you experience migraines or if you experience what you call sinus headaches, there's no such thing as a sinus headache. A sinus headache is a migraine in disguise. So if you experience this, please talk to a doctor. That's my number 1 tip. So many people that I know that suffer really severely from migraines have never seen or talked to a doctor about it. Honestly, it's changed my life. If you experience migraines in any capacity, please talk to a doctor about it. It makes a huge difference. So that, of course, is my number 1 most important tip. Learn your triggers. So like I said, for me, smell is my biggest trigger, and it took me a while to figure that out. I remember one time I had a really bad migraine and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself. So I sat in a dark room and I lit a scented candle and I was like, why do I feel worse? And now I can't be around pine scented candles. Ruined that one for myself on accident. Learn your triggers, and it does help you avoid them. Invest in blinds, curtains, whatever you need to do. Like, learning what your triggers are can really, really help you get through the experience much less painfully. Stay hydrated. A lot of the times migraines can be triggered by dehydration. When you feel a migraine start to come on, I was even told by a neurologist, like, drink a liter of water. I haven't been awake for that long, and this is already my 2nd glass. You will probably go to the bathroom a lot, but it's okay. Just drink a lot of water. Caffeine. So this is a really tricky one, which is why it's a little bit farther down the list. I know that there are certain painkillers out there that advertise towards migraine sufferers because they do have caffeine in them, and I know that those help a lot of people. I personally have never benefited from those. They're just not a good fit for me and my type of migraine. But I have found that a really strong, usually I brew it double strength cup of tea, and then I do it in a small size. I actually have one here. This helps. So I like drinking, because again, you want to stay hydrated. If you are doing something like coffee, just be careful, because too much caffeine can actually have the opposite effect on a lot of people, where it can actually make your headache go worse. Don't fill up on 4 shots of espresso, because that's not going to help. Take it a little bit easier on the coffee, but definitely enjoy in a cup. Through this migraine experience that's been going on for so long, this has been one of the most helpful things, because I can actually feel the effects of it. Drink caffeine, but be careful. I mentioned this a little bit before, sleep. Sleep is not only important for like coping with the pain of the whole experience, but if you're not sleeping, it can actually make it worse. And this is what I'm currently struggling with in this migraine situation. It's been really hot in LA. I've had insomnia for a long, long time. I have not been sleeping well. Even that alone, just not sleeping, can make knots form in your neck and stuff like that. And it's just been really difficult. So I'm actually, I did even go back to the doctor yesterday to talk about this, and we're trying to get the sleep situation under control. Like, don't underestimate the importance of sleep as a part of your migraine recovery. Please sleep. So I hope that this video helped you. I know I seem a little low energy today. I hope you understand. And again, please seek help, or if you have and it's not working, like I went back to my doctor and I was like, yo, you're not alone in anything, a painful or a joyful life experience. There are other people that can relate to you. My fellow migraine sufferers, I'm here for you. Please talk to me in the comments below, or if you don't feel comfortable, you can send me a private message on Instagram or tweet at me. And of course, you know, I even incorporated tea somehow into this episode. I don't know how I did that. So that's it for me today. I hope if anyone out there is struggling who's watching this right now, I wish you lots of rest, water, tea, and relief from your pain soon. And last and most importantly of all, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Tuesday, hopefully.
It's tea time with Mary.
Hello, thank you so much for watching and just hanging out with me today and talking about this. Of course, if you want to hang out on the internet every other day of the week and not just here on YouTube on Sundays and Tuesdays, all my social media links are going to be in the description box below. You're all so wonderful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and you're not alone. It's going to be okay.